Hey everybody, today we've got a real fun one. We have the Fredi HD super small hidden spy camera. This particular model pairs with your smartphone. I had to adjust the camera angle quite a bit for this because it is such a small package. I do want to kind of give you some details on it. When you open it up, this is the main unit. Try to get this in the camera. As you can see, it is absolutely tiny. The camera itself is about the size of my pinky fingernail, maybe even a little bit smaller. It does come on a ribbon, and then you have the main body of the electronics. And then you have a decent sized lead. Oops, sorry. Again, trying to keep this in the camera. A decent sized lead for the battery. Also in the package, we do have a charging cable, and I'm not sure if this battery is charged just yet, but we will give this a try and see. By far the heaviest part of this whole setup is the battery itself, which is a pretty decent sized battery and should hold a very long charge for what this camera needs. Again, it also has a decent sized power lead. Then we're also provided with some instructions, which I can't get out of the box at the moment, but some instructions. And I'm going to try to do this on camera to kind of give you an idea, a quick guide on how to set this up. I know that a lot of people seem to have some trouble trying to set this up, and we're going to do what we can to show how to make this as easy as possible. Also, I just noticed, and I'm fairly certain, I could be wrong, but there's a little bitty sensor hanging off the front of this. I think that is the motion sensor. This is a motion sensor camera, I believe. Looking around the device, we do have two switches, one on each side. One allows you to switch between P2P mode, which goes directly to your phone, and IP mode, which allows this to connect to a Wi-Fi network, and then you can see it from the devices on the Wi-Fi network as well for a larger range of viewing option. And then you also have an on-off switch, and right here on the very end there is a micro SD card slot where it will save the recordings to that micro SD card slot. Also leave a link in the notes to where to go and get the proper app, at least in the Android store. I don't have an iPhone for this camera. So this unit actually did come fairly well charged. To show you kind of how easy this is to set up and to be able to stream the video to your phone, I'm going to go through the steps real quick right now. You just switch the unit from off to on, making sure that the switch on the bottom is set to P2P mode, so I'm going directly from this camera to the phone via its internal Wi-Fi. And I have already installed just a little 4 gig SD card for this demonstration. We're going to turn on the phone, go up here and turn on our Wi-Fi just to show you again, and hopefully I'll get all of this on camera well so you'll be able to see it. We're going to go to our settings. Right now it automatically connected to my home network, but if you look right down here below, we have the MD81S, which is the network that, or the broadcast that this camera is using. And the password for it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll connect. You can see that it is obtaining, it is connected. Then you can minimize that, close it, And again, I'll have a link to where you can download their app, but it's called Plug and Play. We'll just start that up. Let me restart it real quick just so you can see what it looks like as soon as you start. It looks just like this. You can register an account, but you don't need to. Where we're on P2P mode right now, you're going to come down here to the bottom and click on LAN for local area network. And it will show you the different cameras that you have. You can have more than one camera. This is the AD10503. And if you look on the sticker on the unit, you can confirm that this camera's ID is AD10503. So we know that we are connecting to this specific camera. So we'll click on that. And now you can see that we are getting a live feed. This is from the camera, the Fredi camera. And from here, depending on the type of camera you've got, this one I don't believe handles PTZ. It does have a timer function. You can listen. I don't know if it's going to pick that up or not, but so you can hear the audio coming through the camera, which is actually pretty decent. If you want to take a still, you can just click this little camera icon here, and we're taking images now. And then if you want to record, you can click on the little record button, similar to the button on your phone already to record. Like right now we're recording a video. Then to stop recording, we'll hit stop again. Then the other functions on here are if you've got more than one camera, you can click on this and add multiple cameras so you can see them all at once, kind of like a for security reasons, which is really quite nice as well. Go ahead and say stop viewing and start it up again. It does keep track of your orientation, so it will switch. And again, just to show you, let me bring this one up again. Just to show you that we are indeed coming off of this camera, I'm going to switch views to show you. Try to get me in there. You can see my camera there now that I'm using to record this video. And there I am. So you can tell we are definitely getting it off of this camera here. If you want, we're going to go ahead and stop viewing. Then down here at the bottom, since we're now back to the main home screen, where we have WAN, LAN, and WAN, you do the exact same thing for WAN after you set this up on your home network, which I'll show you here in a minute as well. But we do have files, and it's just a regular file explorer, and it shows you these are some of the test videos that I've done and pictures, so you can see that you can't get it, and you can push those out to any other device you want, as far as like Dropbox, sharing it on Facebook, saving it to a server, a central server. Fairly easy. They're just stored on this device, as well as on the SD card on the camera itself. Then they have a couple of basic things where you can share it with a friend and whatnot. You can set up alarms, which I don't have any. But all in all, it's a great little app and a really nice, very tiny camera. Altogether, it is fairly long, but my thoughts on it were that I'd like to use it in a drone scenario. So I'll probably make a case for it, or a housing, where it'll fit up inside of a drone. And this is the only part that actually exits the drone, to keep it nice and small. The image quality is quite good. I haven't played with yet, but I know that it does do motion detection, so that'll be quite nice. In fact, I believe this is probably actually the microphone. But all in all, it's a great, awesome little camera that can easily hide just about anywhere you need it to. You can use this as a nanny cam, or you can also use it as a security camera around your house or in your office. The battery does hold a really decent charge. The only issue that I've had with it so far that you'll want to be careful about is that the unit itself does get fairly warm after prolonged use. So you just want to make sure that you've got it ventilated quite well. And it's not warm enough that it's going to cause a fire or anything, but it is warm to the touch. So you want to make sure that, again, this is ventilated quite well. Let me go ahead and switch up where I'm sitting, and then we'll show you the IP version of this setup. It's going to be very similar, almost identical, but there is a little bit of extra you have to do to set it up. We'll be right back to show you that. To operate this camera off of the same local network, it does take a little extra setup, so I'll show you that real quick right now. I've already turned, it's on P2P mode, not IP at the moment, and I've switched it to the on position. Now if we go into that same app, we're going to go to local area network again. Oops, I forgot to connect it to that. So we're going to connect it to the camera's Wi-Fi. And now it should show up in their plug and play app. So we'll refresh, it's right there. Now to get to the settings for the camera, it's this little blue arrow on the side here. And from this menu you can change a lot of different things about this camera. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into Wi-Fi. Now I've already set it up for my Wi-Fi, but I'm going to probably have to put the password in again. I'm not going to show the password, and I'll come right back as soon as I have that filled out. So now I've got the password entered in. We're going to say OK. And it's going to come up with this screen telling you that the camera is rebooting. Please unplug the network cable. It doesn't have a network cable installed on the camera itself, so we'll say OK. And it says it's still online now because it's still paired directly to the camera. We're going to turn the camera to the off position. While it's off, we're going to switch it over to IP. And then we'll turn the camera back on. And now it should be connecting up to the to my local network. The app is still loading up after trying to log in. Let's see if I need to try again because I wasn't on my network. And now you can see it does show that as being online. When you click on it now, it'll actually come up with a little dialog that says calling, and it's going to be a little bit slow because it's going out through my wireless network back to this camera. But then it works exactly the same as before. Lastly, I want to show you some of the, so just to summarize, this is a really minimalistic, very cool camera that has a really nice feature set, really good video quality. I'm going to try to put some of that video here on this review real quick, probably towards the end. And all in all, it's a really, really slick, nice little package. And as long as you have a little bit of patience, it does take a little bit of time to plug in or to boot up. Works really, really well right out of the box. In fact, I'd say that this is probably going to be the camera that I use on my DIY drone here in the next little while.